Hi everyone, it's Leslie. I am here. It's 9 o'clock Pacific time on Friday, Friday the 25th. I am so excited to give this talk about how to know if he's the one. So I just wanted to say, first off, thank you so much for participating in my group and for coming to these talks. And yesterday was Thanksgiving here in the States, and I just had a lot of time to reflect on how grateful I am to be able to do this work, to be able to talk to you guys, to be able to show up to what I believe is my true life's calling, and to be of maximum service to the world. It is such a gift. It's such a gift, and I'm so excited. I had a great day yesterday. My family was here. I hosted, first time hosting Thanksgiving, and so it was incredibly exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but everything came out fine. And I got really nervous at some point, and then I just relaxed into trusting that it was all going to be the way it was supposed to be. So I hope you guys if you were in the States, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and I am so excited to be here. So as you guys know, I'm launching my group program today, Manifesting Your Ideal Partner. I've talked to you guys about it, and those who have asked me about it one-on-one privately, I've given you some information, but I'll give you some more information about that in a little while. Hi Heather. Hi guys. Oh, hi. It's so nice to see you guys. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And so how to know if he's the one, right? That's such a huge, as always, I write these, you guys ask for these topics and I start to do the writing, and then I just start thinking, there's so much involved in that question, right? So, I don't know if anyone is the right one for you for the rest of eternity. I don't know if anyone is right for me for the rest of eternity. Oh, please don't give up. Yeah, I don't know. I do know that there are people who are the right people for me at different times in my life. And I also do know that there are people that are right for me for the rest of my life. It's true in friendships, it's true in people, but I do wish that no one gives up on this, that I do believe that Spirit and God and universe wants you to be happy, wants you to be healthy, wants you to be in partnership. I know so many men who are looking for partnership, who are good, honest men, who will show up and want the same things that I want and that you want. And I also know that each man along the way was a perfect partner for me to learn what I needed to learn, and I got to heal what I needed to heal. So what is so interesting about this topic, and what happens so much in dating, is we forget to use spiritual principles in my life. I've so many things I give to God, so many things I give to the universe, that I completely trust that God's got me. And then when it comes to dating, I just grab onto it, and I start to get really nervous, and I don't want to let it go, and I forget to feel ease, and I forget to feel comfort, and I forget to utilize spiritual principles when it comes to dating. That for me, my higher power, my God, wants what's best for me, and I know He wants what's best for you. He, she, it, depending on what it is for you. And the tricky part gets to be, what is my part, right? The tricky part gets to be, what is my 1% that I need to do to show up to this? So one of the things, sorry, my computer's dinging, so I'm going to turn that off. Exactly. So one of the things that I know is so true is that I get to know when someone isn't the right one for me. There are so many times when I'm self-willing something, and I know how that feels, right? You all know how that feels when your energy is like this and you're trying to make it work and you're trying to force something to happen. That's not the energy we want here. That's not the energy we want anywhere. Whenever I have that experience, whenever I start to feel that energy, I just do everything I can. I take 5 minutes of meditation to start to relax, to start to know that energy is fearful. And when I'm making decisions out of that energy, And out of that place, I'm not being one with my God. I'm not being one with my Creator. I'm not being one with the universe in such a way that I know that it's going to be my will, that I'm self-willing that thing. So, what I get to know is that the first thing I want to talk about, which I talk about a lot with you guys, is to get incredibly clear on exactly what you're looking for, right? So as long as I know exactly what I'm looking for, and it sounds so simple, I talk about it a lot, and it sounds like this really easy thing, right? I want to be married, or I want to be with a partner, or I just want someone who loves me. All of those things are great, and that's part of it, but you get really clear on what you're looking for, because what happens is, once I am very clear on what I'm looking for, the universe will respond, and I get to start acting for that thing. Because right now, you're having the relationship that you expect and what you think you deserve. Whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, it is what you think you deserve. So we need to start to clear away all of those things and start to work clearly on what it is you want, right? So that when I know, so I had a client, and I do a lot of this work with my one-on-one people. We sit down and we get very crystal clear on what we're looking for. And so I had a client who was dating this guy, and, she was wildly attracted to him. And in some ways he made her happy, right? In some ways he would show up and they would go out to dinner and they had great sex and all of that thing. Good morning, everyone. At the same time, she was always off her game. She didn't feel comfortable. She didn't feel safe. He never wanted to commit to her. She always felt like she had to change him. She always felt like as soon as she was good enough, as soon as she was nice enough, didn't have enough needs, didn't rock the boat too much, he was going to finally see, right? Finally see that she's the one for him. And the thing is that's not true. You don't want to date someone for their potential, right? Can I get an amen to that? So how many of you have dated someone who in the future is going to be great, or he had the potential to be great, or he wants to be great, or he's going to therapy to learn how to be faithful, learn how to see what he wanted. All of those things, we want to date the person who's standing in front of us. So what happens is, exactly, thank you, Vicky. Exactly. You want to get clear on what you want, start to have a practice. So this is one of the things that we're going to be working really hard on in manifesting your ideal partner. You get clear on what you want, and then you start to get a practice, and then you start to know when you meet someone, is that person what you're looking for? And what happens with so many of us is, myself included, by the way, is that we would alter what we're looking for to fit the person in front of us because fear gets in the way, right? So we start to get a mindset practice, a personal mindset practice, so that we start to remember that God has us, remember that we have a spiritual practice and a spiritual way of entering into this. Right? And so what we get to do is we get to say, okay, I now know what I want. I now am committed to it. So when I meet someone and he's not what I'm looking for, he's not what I want, I'm fearful this is all I'm going to get. I'm fearful this is all I've ever gotten before. So why would anything ever change? And that's the thing. I'm going to settle. There's no more settling. There's enough time for you to start to learn what you're bringing to the table, how awesome you are, and what exactly you're looking for. Because again, we're looking for a match. We're not looking for every man. We're not looking just to get married. Because the reality is, ladies, is I'm pretty sure that most of you could be married if what you wanted just to be married. But what you're here for, and what I work with, the people I work with, it's because they want an actual true partnership. Right? Does that make sense? I could have gotten married before I did. There was a couple guys that I totally could have married. The thing was, I knew deep inside that they weren't the one for me. And not because they weren't smart enough, or they weren't this enough, or they weren't that enough. They just weren't my personal match. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for what is your personal match. And then we start to first, once we figure out what we're looking for, you'll start to feel the resistance. You'll start to feel the fear. You'll start to feel why you're not doing it. And then you attend to that. So now you have a list of exactly what you're looking for, you're going to start to rest in this idea, this is what I want. So then when you date and then when you meet someone, you get to be in relationship with them, and then you get to know that this is what I'm looking for. So it's going to be someone that you can trust. It's going to be someone who you can feel safe with. So if you're not feeling safe, absolutely. If you're not feeling safe, if you're wondering, I asked people what they wanted to hear about this. One of the things that they kept asking me was, how do I get him to open up? How do I get him to commit? And the thing is, you don't get him to do anything. I didn't get my husband to commit. My clients don't convince someone to fall in love with them. That's not your job. Your job, and I say this all the time, your job is to be authentically you, deal with your fears so you're not making choices out of fears, and learn how to have a direct connection with that which you find holy, so that you can feel rested and safe and know when you look at someone whether or not they're the one for you. Right? Can I get an amen to that? Your job is just to look and know, because that's just it, right? So that's the second thing I really want to talk about with you guys. But first I want to talk about the new cart. They have to want to commit, right? Yeah. So this is not about someone, this is about finding someone who wants exactly what you want, right? This is not, and so what happens is we hear these things that, like, sometimes it can be hard, relationships are all about compromise, blah, 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 which is true to some extent, but not about the big things. So you shouldn't be compromising about a level of commitment. If what you want and what you're willing to show up to is not sleeping with others, and you want to get married and you want a faithful partner, that's not something to compromise. I love my husband. You guys have heard me talk about him. He's super awesome. He likes his hair long, and I don't like it. Oh my God, I hate it. And for a while there, I was like bugging him about it. Like, I wanted him to cut it off. And here's the thing. Who cares? If my husband wants to have long hair, he wants to have dreadlocks, if he wants to have a ponytail, that may or may not be what I want. It's not going to stop me from being attracted to him. And if the worst thing my husband ever does is grow his hair too long, I think I've won. Right? Those are the types of things we're going to compromise with. We're going to compromise on stuff that's superficial, stuff that doesn't matter. That's the kind of thing you want to work with. The other stuff, the big stuff, the holy stuff. Do I want someone who I can trust and who's honest to me? Do I want someone who is committed and falling in love with me? Do I want someone who I'm attracted to and who's attracted to me? Do I want someone with kids? Do I want someone who makes me laugh? Do I want someone who has the life that I want? That's what you're looking for. And those are things you can't convince someone of. And I get it, right? I get that feeling that you're with someone, and someday, if you break up with him, he's now going to be, like, he's going to learn all that he learned with you with the next woman. Honey, let him go. If you know what? You know those puppy teeth? When you hit a little dog, because you guys know I love dogs, puppy teeth, they have those really sharp teeth and they got to cut their puppy teeth on someone. I don't want to be the one that they're going to cut their puppy teeth on. Does that make sense? Right? I don't want to be the one that has to teach you how to be faithful, how to show up, how to open up in life. Nope. If you don't know how to do that, bye. I'm going to go find a big grown-up man who knows how to make a commitment and who knows how to show up, because there's plenty of men out there. Your partner is looking for you just like you're looking for him. Right? Can I get an amen? That's what I want you guys to keep remembering. What happens is we have this mantra in our heads. There's not enough men. There's not enough men. I want to get married. Who's going to be for me? Oh my God. And as long as you're in this fear mantra, you're not open and available to spirit, and you're not knowing and trusting that the false thing that's in front of you, the man who doesn't want to commit to you, is not for you. Okay? New mantra. So, I wanted to take a minute. You guys have asked me about it, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about the new group program. So, I created this program because that's what you guys asked for. I did a poll. I've been talking to you guys. I've been interviewing you guys and asking what you guys needed the most help with. I wanted to do this right before the end of the year. I wanted everyone to have the opportunity to hit the ground running in 2017. I wanted you to not have another New Year's alone. I wanted you to have the next Valentine's Day receiving flowers and having a date for someone. I wanted a way for you guys to get some of my one-on-one coaching, which may be too expensive for you, but some of my one-on-one coaching, some of the benefits of that in a group format. So let me tell you about it. It starts December 5th, so that is, a little over a week away. I'm so excited. It's going to be 2 weeks. It's a 2-week program. It's going to be on Facebook Live. It's going to be a limited number of people, so it's a short, I'm only going to be offering it to, I'm going to limit the number. Later next year, I may offer it to a much bigger group, but right now, I just want to offer it to you guys. I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to have some one-on-one time with you, that I have the opportunity to respond to everyone's Facebook posts. And so it'll be a private group. No one will be able to read the posts unless they're in the group. No one will be able to see that you're in the group. No one even knows the group exists until I invite you. It's going to be 2 weeks. I'm going to be doing these Facebook Lives at various times. We're going to work together on when the times are. And that's going to be with homework assignments. So you guys have to be committed. You have to be tired of what you've been doing. If you are ready to have a different relationship, if you are ready to do the work it's going to take, if you are ready to make this commitment to yourself and to your life, then I welcome you to the group. If you're not, if you just want to play small, if you're still not sure what you want to do, please take the time, because you have to be ready. So what have I said? So what we're going to do is I'm going to do 2 Facebook Lives a week. You guys are going to have homework assignments. If you want to post to the group and get feedback from the group, that's great. If you want to post just to me, I can do it. You can send me an email. You're going to get a free 15-minute session with me. You're going to decide where in the 2 weeks that session is. So 15 minutes with me is worth $97. So you and I are going to sit down and I'm going to work with you. Maybe it's going to be in the manifestation portion. Maybe it's going to be in the mindset portion. Depending on what you yourself are having the hardest time with, that's the time we're going to get together and I'm going to best support you one-on-one. And then I'm also going to do, each week I'm going to do a Q&A. So we'll do a time, so there'll be homework assignments. There'll be a time in which you can just ask questions. And then you could even ask questions after and I'll go back in and post. So the price is going to be $197. This is going to be the cheapest. This is going to be the cheapest I'm going to offer this at any time. So I'm never going to offer it at this price again. So ladies, right now, it's only going to be offered to you in the group and to the people who are on my email list. So let me see. So you're going to get clear on what you want, and even those things that you're afraid to ask for, because I know, ladies, you all have those things you're terrified to ask for. You're going to learn how to date and meet men easily and effortlessly. We're going to learn how to turn on your taxi light. I've talked a lot about this, which is like how to make yourself available so they will ask you out. And we're going to learn where to go and learn right away when and where to meet the man that's right for you. We're going to work on removing all of your fears, removing all your blocks and all those internal things that you have, as well as creating a clear mindset practice. So that's the program. I'm going to post it in the group. I'll pin the post. As soon as I'm done with the Facebook Live. And so again, I have a limited number of who I'm allowing in this group. So if you want in, please go ahead and grab that right away. So I'm super excited. And if you have any questions, please feel free to private messenger me. So I think that's anything. If you have any other questions about the group, just let me know. So we are going to go back to how to know if he is the one. Now look, one of the best ways to know if he is the one is to start to listen to your intuition. Ladies, you know, you guys have that inner knowing, and there is a voice inside of you that knows. One of my clients was like, oh, he was always telling me and trying to convince me, and I just believed his words, and he was trying to convince me that he was being faithful to me. And so here's the deal. If you're asking your partner constantly if they're being faithful to you, if he is constantly trying to convince you of something, then you already know that he's not that way. My husband doesn't have to convince me of anything. I promise you, that man is not going anywhere. He's not doing anything. I know that he's faithful. There's an energy that we're forgetting about. There's an intuition in a quiet space that we know. There's a difference between that fearful place, that place where you are, I don't know if it's because of my past that I don't trust, or there's a difference between fear and knowing. And what we get to do is start to learn how to listen to our own internal guidance, right? That's what I want you to know. You ladies already have the answer. If you're asking your partner constantly what's going on, if you don't trust him, if you need to be convinced that he's a good guy, then you already know the answer. So when you get to look back at your other relationships, right? You get to look back at the guy who you didn't trust, or the guy who turned out later like he said all the right things, but he didn't do it. You get to start to watch that their voice and what they say matches what they do. Because they're going to be in integrity with who they are. So if you sit there and look back at the relationships you've had in the past where the man wasn't what you thought they were, did you see the red flags? Now that you're quiet, now that you look back, was it clear? Was there a voice inside of you who already saw that he wasn't the one for you? Come on, ladies. You know that you know that there was. And so what we start to do is we start to learn how to listen to our intuition. We start to learn how to navigate our fear, right? Because what happens is I get the fear that I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I don't make enough money, oh my God, I make too much money, I'm too outgoing. Sorry, my thing was I'm too outgoing, so men don't like how dominant I am. And then I have clients who think that they're too meek, right? And so what you get to do is it's not that you're not enough. That is not true. That lie is something I want you to let go of right now. Because it's not about your weight. It's not about how you look. It's not about whether you make enough money or don't make enough money. It's about finding your right fit. If you were to ask my husband whether I'm too much, whether I'm too outgoing, he doesn't think I'm too much. He doesn't think I'm too aggressive. He thinks I'm perfect because I'm perfect for him. So all of those men that's constantly telling me how I just need to relax and I'm just, whatever. Those things, it was just that we weren't a good fit. So what you get to start to do is have you guys know what this means, what creating a mindset is. So learning how to get quiet, learning how to listen to your inner self, and learning how when you're starting to make decisions in that fearful place, that then you need to stop what you're doing, get quiet until you can start to listen to yourself. Because what happens is they convince you of things that you wish were true, right? So you wish that that guy was the one because you're fearful that there's no one else that's going to be there. And once you start to know and trust, and again, we're going to go back to the spiritual principles. If you know that there's a higher power who loves you, if you know that you are totally taken care of, and that there is someone out there looking for you as you are looking out for them, your job is just to go have fun. Your job is to start to live your life fully and effortlessly with as much joy as you possibly can. And as you live out of that place, you start to get connections with the flow of life. You got to start to be one with the universe, and I start to just show up. And as you show up, you start to find that they will show up for you. Does that make sense? So, let me answer some of the questions. And one of the things I asked you guys for some questions, like when to get serious. That was one of the questions you guys wanted to know. Again, a lot of your questions, or a lot of the things that most of my clients get stuck on, are these rules, right? These ideas that there's a way that you shouldn't sleep with them on the first date, or you need to wait 2 weeks, or you need to wait 3 days. So if he calls you and invites you out, and he doesn't give you 3 days notice, he's not respecting you, and you need to play hard to get. Look, if what you're looking for is someone to give you a set of rules on how to manipulate and con someone into falling in love with you, I'm not the gal for you. I don't believe in it. I don't believe it's true. I believe that your job is to get right with your higher power, that which you call as holy. Your job is to show up as authentically and clearly as who you are. So how to know when to get serious? I mean, when do you want to be serious? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is about showing up and saying, this is how I feel. This is what's going on for me. How do you feel? And what is going on for you? I don't know if I've told you guys this story, but Cap, my now husband, and I were dating, and we were dating, and a lot of the men I dated prior, I was incredibly insecure with. They never committed to me. They never called me their girlfriend, and I had a big hard time with that. And so I had a lot of fear around that. So I don't know, maybe we were 2 weeks in or something. 3 weeks. It was near the beginning. He says it was like 3 days, but there's no way I would have done this in 3 days. And so something happened, and the boyfriend-girlfriend conversation came up. And I said something like, oh yeah, you're my boyfriend. And he stopped dead in his tracks. So he was raised Catholic. So he's not Catholic anymore, but he was raised Catholic. So he has this deep, he has some underlying stuff around rules. There's a lot of rules on how you do things. And so I said something like, oh yeah, you're my boyfriend. And he was like, no, it's entirely too early for me to be your boyfriend. So we're not boyfriend and girlfriend yet. And the thing that was so interesting about it, now that conversation, some man saying that to me at a different time, in a different space, of a different man, would have sent me spinning. I would have felt so insecure. I would have felt so terrified. And what happened instead was I knew that I was his girlfriend. I knew that he was totally in and enamored with me. I knew that he wasn't doing anything on the side and didn't want anyone else. He was just having fear. And so for the first time in my life, I laughed and I said, okay. I just said, well, I'm your girlfriend. So, no, I said, you're my boyfriend. If you don't think I'm your girlfriend yet, that's fine. I don't have to worry about it. You'll just let me know when that's the truth for you. And I just went about my day. There was no pressure. There was no manipulation. The thing was, I was totally resting in my intuition. I felt totally secure. And I think it was I give him a hard time. I think it was a week later. He was like, so yeah, okay, you're my girlfriend. He's so cute. So yeah, so it's not about a timeline. It's not about saying when to have sex, when to have, how to get them to open up emotionally, how to get them to do what you want, or to be who you need. This one hair is driving me crazy. Is it driving you guys crazy? Solution! Oh. Sorry. I was trying to make it go that way and it just wasn't. I got this nice little cowlick right there. Okay. It's not about forcing something that isn't true. Can we get that, ladies? This is not about forcing something that isn't right for you. This is about leaning in and trusting. And I know how terrifying that is. I know how hard that can be. And that's why I do the work I do. Because I want to support you in that. I want to support you and give you the foundation so that you, and teach you how to have the foundation so that you can rest as you navigate this dating and finding your partner, finding the one who's meant for you. So, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them right now. I do want you to again know that the card is going to be open today for manifesting your ideal partner. I am so excited. And again, the spaces are limited and I am just so pumped. So if you are ready, if you're ready to do the work, if you know what you want, if you're ready to show up to your life in this really big way, let's do this. So it's going to start in a little over a week. And here we go. I am super pumped. So, thank you all so much for showing up this morning. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.